Okay. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. This is Rock and Roll Spot coming at you. My weekly TV live, my weekly comic book live stream. As you can tell from the thumbnail, yes, there is a new issue of Deadpool. Damn. Okay, that's a little bit better. All right. So we'll get to it, shall we? We got we got about 6 books this week. Including allergies. Deadpool number 300, which we'll start off with. This is the conclusion to the story, The Marvel Universe Kills Deadpool. It's been a rough one for him. But all right. A lot has happened. Deadpool was a nobody. Then he was somebody. Now he's not. It's all gone. The money, the friends, the family, the Avengers. He followed an evil version of Steve Rogers into the abyss, and now he has to pay the price. He's wanted for murder, yet he's guilty. The Marvel Universe is out to kill Deadpool, but there's only one man up to the job. Anyway, so we start off in our last $10 issue at Nowhere. The severed celestial head that has been featured in both Guardians of the Galaxy movies and as well as numerous cosmic-based Marvel comics in the last decade or so. Anyway, so Wade is sitting in a bar talking with an alien, a green skin alien woman. He's kind of commiserate. He's going about stuff, and anyway, so he ends up buying a weapon off of a woman, and well, the day has come that he has to use it. So we fast forward back to now on Earth. Deadpool is naked and spraying himself down with whatever it was that woman on Nowhere gave him. He finds out that it does not make him invincible as he punches the wall and breaks his fingers briefly. And he also probably vomits. And then he starts to notice everyone around him is vomiting. First, okay, woman in the hallway at the hotel. Yeah, she saw Wade naked. That could potentially lead to vomiting. I can understand that. Then Falcon vomits. Daredevil shows up and vomits. Bruce confirms all the heroes inbound that Deadpool is a walking bio attack. Which makes some great moments with three of the champions show up: Nova, Spider-Man, and Miss Marvel. Not Richard Rider, not Peter Parker, and not Miss Marvel, or not Carol Danvers. Which makes for a great moment of, if you like reboots, you'll love these kids. And yeah, it all begins. They all just start puking. It makes for a great side gag with Miss Marvel, since her powers are in part personal elasticity. So you know that cartoony moment when someone's about to puke and then it's like, when their cheeks just get huge. Yeah, that kind of happened to her when she runs off before it can happen. But now everyone's vomiting. Everybody. Scarlet Witch takes apart one of his guns and guess what goes on? Yep. Cops. The police dog vomits. Licks up the vomit and then vomits some more. Quicksilver runs by and vomits at high speed. Brother Voodoo and Synapse show up, and Brother Voodoo manages to at least peek through a portal that he opens into the back of Deadpool's head. So, yeah. The only... And... Thor, twirling her hammer around and making a massive stream of it. Iron Man spilled his armor with so much you can eject him. So, of course, now we get the obvious answer. The Vision comes after him. Oh, hey, he can't vomit. He's not a person. But then Giant Man comes along at giant size. It shorts out Vision. And so Deadpool swims to New Jersey while lamenting the fact that, he put $20 million on his head. None of the villains could collect. His first backup plan was to present a threat, such a threat that the Avengers would throw me in some rubber room without a door or a pocket dimension I could never escape from. And then, so he goes and washes his costume. Now, the LMD of Agent Preston is speaking with Cap, and while they're cleaning up the mess that Giant Man made. Well, Giant Man and Deadpool, but yeah. Apparently, Deadpool's been spotted on the New York Thruway. So Preston's pretty sure she knows where he's going. Well, Deadpool, of course, hitchhiking, gets picked up by writer Jerry Dugan, who has written himself into the actual issue, pulling a Grant Morrison from Animal Man. And the two of them, Deadpool and Jerry, have a little discussion about there, and Jerry realizes, oh crap, this is like another 100 pages. And so Deadpool steals his car and shoots him. Cap and Preston follow him. Or Cap and Preston manage to pick up a sheriff's car and go after Deadpool. They find him. And Deadpool turns into a bit of a demolition derby. And it's really just fun with him. All the crap happening. It turns out that Deadpool is heading up to Butler's Medical Supply, which was formerly owned by Dr. B. Utler, a scientist who was harvesting organs from Deadpool and giving him a drug to basically a memory-wipe drug. And so Deadpool does the smart thing. Hooks up a massive amount of IVs with it and sticks himself with the remaining with what's left. Cap and Preston go in and find him blissfully knocked out and farting. Anyways, the bulk of the remainder of the issue take place in Deadpool's head. As he destroys his memories. A massive statue of Deadpool as Avengers, with the exception of Rogue, who is still Rogue, blasts up the statue, and one of Rogue is still standing. There's a nice little nod to 2001. I'm getting flashbacks to various other issues where he just goes through and just destroys everything. And I mean, it's really depressing. You get some really happy moments and showing that, Deadpool has not had the worst life. It's just, He fucked up. And when all said and done, he can't remember anything. Captivated Preston home and arrest Wade. When picking up Wade's costume, he falls out of the picture. With Wade, Steve, and Logan in Japan. Anyways, he stands trial, and well, he goes to trial in a wheelchair, drooling, and it's like, yeah, he's not fit, mentally competent to stand trial, and so in the state psychiatric system. And one night, someone was brought in claiming to be Deadpool. Causing Deadpool to wake up and say, "That's not how you Deadpool." Picks up the discarded costume and says, "I'll show you how to Deadpool. I want a fresh start too." I mentioned the last something he remembers is fighting Black Box, Black Tom, and a Black Swan. It's kind of weird. But he escapes, and it reveals he's been awake for the past couple of days, trying to remember who he was. He tended to still be in his coma while enjoying the very sexual sponge baths. And he leaves. Realizes he's starving. And nobody likes what Mexican feels right. So it's time to make the chimichangas. And we get a 81 years later bit in the year 2099. Deadpool sans mask, and then I don't even know how to probably describe this outfit. So, yeah. He goes and joins what looks like, I'm presuming would be the ghost of Agent Preston, or the hologram of Agent Preston. I'm guessing his daughter and Lady Robot Deadpool on a robot dragon. And of course, it's gonna next month we'll be back. Deadpool will be back in Deadpool #1. There will also be I know there's also an upcoming miniseries called Deadpool Assassin, so we'll see where that leads us. I'm kind of really looking forward to that as being drawn by Mark Bagley. He's a favorite artist of mine. All in all, though, fun read. It'll be neat to read that story all together. I think both the last two arcs of Despicable Deadpool. All right. Moving on. Hunt for Wolverine, the Adamantium Agenda, Part 1. So, as mentioned in Hunt for Wolverine, Tony Stark is putting together a team to look into Wolverine's disappearance. Well, the issue begins years ago in Tribeca. Shield Bomb Squad agent is there, kind of like, hey, well, cool, some Avengers have shown up. All right. And so Wolverine, Spider-Man, Luke Cage, and Jessica Jones walk into a building. There's some kind of bomb in there. It's holding something. Big discussion over who's going to trip the switch has to be activated by a person. A big discussion over who's going to do it. Cage, I'm invincible. I can do this. Well, Spider-Man, oh hey, I'll do it. I'll do it. Like Logan says, wait. You know, no, you're not. You're not going to. Spider bit you. It didn't make you impervious, exploding into little pieces. Makes for a great gag. Spider-Man asking how Wolverine knew about it, and then Wolverine saying, "Anyone here not heard Spider-Man's origin a bunch of times?" The Shield EOD agent apparently hadn't. So, but yeah, like I said, Cage volunteers next, and like, no. You this we don't know how big this is. That you could die. This could be one you could take. So Wolverine says, "I'll do it. I'll put myself back in. It'll be fun." So he opens it. Wolverine's, sees someone come out or sees who's in it. Like, says, "You're gonna have to explain it to you, son of a," and then, big explosion. Iron Man arrives on the scene. Learns that, at least whatever's left of Logan is in the remains of that building. He goes in. Cut to now where Tony and Kitty Pryde are at Wolverine's grave discussing things. And he said he might have a lead. So he just has to make a call. And so Spider-Man, who briefly fighting the Vulture, explains, Logan's body's missing, and that Tony made him a promise that day in Tribeca. Well, of course, so did Spider-Man. And then, gets on a jet for Cage, Jessica, Spider-Man, and has also arranged for a babysitter for Danielle Cage. Well, turns out they're headed to a black market arms auction. Apparently, one of the items is the genetic code of someone in the superhero community. Well, they're all given masks. It is worth noting, by the way, that Cage's mask is a reproduction of Hogan's mask, one of Wolverine's martial arts-based enemies from way back in the day. So they prepare for the auction. After a brief misunderstanding, Tony goes onto the sales floor and goes to the auction. A lot of the masks that people are wearing there are very obviously based on people from the superhero community or superhero or villain communities. Off the top of my head, I see a Deathbird, I see Griffin, and I also see one of the claw machine aliens from Toy Story, and an Iron Man. Turns out the genetic code is not the genetic code of Logan, as Tony and company feared, but baby Danielle Cage. So yeah, somebody's a bit mad. Spoiler alert: it's Luke Cage and Jessica Jones. But yeah, honestly, this is probably of the four Hunt for Wolverine minis. This is probably one I was looking forward to the most. I was actually a really huge fan of Wolverine being an Avenger. It was maybe some neat stories and some new interactions that we really didn't get to see. At least, and if we did, when we got to see them, were so rare that you have three different writers doing, each of them. And it would make sense because you were years apart on, again, each of them. Anyway, so time-wise, I'd say this, like years ago portions take place during shortly after the event known as the Siege, but before Fear itself. That's about the time that Wolverine was Wolverine. Well, you would have had Wolverine, Spider-Man, Iron Man, Cage, and Jessica Jones doing superhero stuff together. So, anyways, next up we got Domino number 2. First off, it picks up where the first issue left off. Domino's falling out of her apartment, and she describes what her luck power is like. It's like a guardian angel, only it never feels like heaven. As she puts it, it feels like a little mouse crawling up my back. Sometimes it saves her life, but lets her get hurt. Almost like a punishment, you know? Sometimes it's benevolent, like a hamster or an adorable teeny mouse and naps in your hair. Takes you gently from your fingers. And sometimes it's a giant rat, screeching rat that digs its claws deep into your flesh, clean through your spine. And the worst thing, the very worst thing, is that right now you can't feel it at all. So, yeah, she's kind of freaked. Anyways, Topaz and her partner watch for a while, and then the older gentleman says, "You know, hey, I think she's had enough now." And as she basically has her powers given back to her by Topaz, Outlaw, Diamondback, and Deadpool walk into the room, and they're not happy. Also, Spider-Man swings in and saves Domino, while Deadpool and company bring out the Party Crashers. Just to say, hey, we are not above killing you at all. We ain't the Avengers. And the older gentleman explains that Topaz can adjust powers, turn them off for a time, just to start, put them on uncontrollable overdrive. Makes her soul burns fire every time you use it. And yeah, like, as I said, Spider-Man and Domino talk while on the roof of Domino's building. And something odd happens with the older gentleman, and the two disappear. Just about the time that Agent X delivers quite possibly the best line of that comic book I've read all week. Justice batch of jackholes, activate. I guess I just glanced at it initially and called it Justice League of jackholes, but oh well. So Diamondback and Outlaw go and comfort Domino, bring her down, explain that everybody left except, Deadpool. So the next day, Domino's jogging through Golden Gate Park with Amadeus Cho, and they get mugged. It doesn't work out well for the muggers, that is. Also, Amadeus Cho may be the totally awesome Hulk, but when it comes to keeping himself in shape, not that great. Well, I mean, he's not fat, but still, keeping up with the physical part of it. So they get a job security job on a riverboat. Turns out first off, when Domino walks into the casino, everybody starts winning. Jackpots, all jackpots, blackjacks. Everybody's winning. And then a bunch of the dealers turn out to be the ones who are trying to get money from the owner of the riverboat. Bit of a fight, and they get taken out. But it turns out that the guy who owns the riverboat actually can't pay, and so now Domino owns a riverboat. Turns out that, well, her new friends come to visit her. Turns out that anytime, well, the gentleman and Domino are linked. When good things happen to her, he suffers. And he has suffered so much in her wake. But then he found something wonderful. Any calamity that befalls her, he gets back a little bit of life that she took from him. And then the boat, which carried Domino and Outlaw Diamondback to the riverboat, blows up. After Outlaw and Diamondback got aboard. So we'll see if they survive or not. Now, I'm loving Gail Simone on Domino, but I got to say, what I'm loving even more is the way she uses Deadpool as a guest character, and I really, really, really hope that after the next time with this upcoming Deadpool series, when the first time they get to bring in a new writer, that Gail Simone is that writer, because I know she wrote Deadpool before, and she was great. She still got it. So yeah, Marvel, if you CD Cebulski, if you happen to see this, offer Gail Simone Deadpool again at some point. And Miss Simone, if you have the opportunity to watch this, if it's offered, please take it. I want to read that. I want to read. But anyway, I know I should probably go get the old issues, but whatever. I would love to see you do some new Deadpool stuff. Okay, some more foods right quick. Yeah, mac and cheese again. All right, up next, got Old Man Logan number 39. All right, so after everything that's happened with Old Man Logan going after the Kingpin and fighting Bullseye and so on and so forth, well, healing factor, it ain't working the way it should be. It already slowed down a little bit, but now it's worse. So, oh God, what's these? Okay. So, Logan goes back to Xavier School. Coincidentally, the X-Men are out, saving the world. But the students are there, and he's met by Shark Girl, Rockslide, Glob Herman, and Inoue. Turns out, Glob Herman's got himself a date because it is it is fun to use Tinder-style dating apps now in comics. Glob Herman got himself a date on Mutant Mingle. Anyways, however, he's not there to hang out with the kids. He's got an appointment with Dr. Reyes. And so, the whole run through, he explains that his eye, which caught a bottle cap during the fight with Bullseye, it's not healing at all. It turns out the eye's dead. The iris is atrophied as a result of damage, which he explains the eyeball got between Bullseye and a bottle cap. Though Dr. Reyes has made a great comment about with his eye being, how his eye is. He now has an excuse to wear that ridiculous eye patch again. Anyways, we had this brief bit with Shark Girl and Glob Herman talking. Herman's talking with the girl he got a date with on Mutant Mingle. They're supposed to actually go on, meet up with that date that afternoon. So, So Shark Girl asks if he's gonna wear clothes, and he's gonna go just as the naked glob that he is. Anyway, turns out also that Logan's been using a drug called Regenix. He got adamantium poisoning, which is going pretty bad, and he's also got Regenix in his system. Again, another vignette with another, back to Glob Herman. He's going to be a big part of this issue. Big florist. He asked about getting a dozen roses, and explains, just he's just going on first date. He's like, well, roses are great, but first, let's just go with one. That way she doesn't tote around a big old bundle. So, yeah. And then Logan explains this. Then we cut back to Logan. Regenix is some sort of healing drug cooked up by the Silver Samurai. They're right past the trial phase. And a well-intentioned friend injected Logan with it because she thought he was dying. The side effect is that it chews away at your insides in order to get the protein boost it needs to heal. Benefits are short-lived, but the organ eating continues. Anyways, those Shark Girl, Rockslide, and Ole are wondering, how the date's going, but it's been a while, so probably going pretty well. Well, we get to cut back to Herman, who is just at her house to pick her up. And it turns out she's being held prisoner by a group of purifiers, the militant wing of the Church of Humanity. Back to Logan. Kind of appointment's over. I'll be in touch. He tried taking it easy once before. Doesn't seem to stick. Then he tries to duck out, but the students see him and he talks with them a bit. And of course, they say, Herman will be so bummed if he's not here to, talk about us afterwards or talk about the date. Herman explains to the girl who who the purifiers are. Turns out Herman's willing to cooperate. And so strap a suicide vest onto him. He's going to help them take down the X-Men. And that is where the issue ends. From the cover of the next issue, though, I am very much looking forward to the next issue. The cover showing Herman giving Logan a fastball special. Anyways, moving on to X-Men Blue number 27. Continuing the Cry Havoc story. Anyway, so we start off weeks ago in Hightown, Madripoor. Polaris and Magneto are out of town. He just took her to dinner, offers to take their dessert, and they kind of whoa, and the girl Polaris like, hey, I looked at, I appreciate the effort, but I know you're just doing this for you got your reasons. And he explains that he does have while yes, he does want to have a good healthy relationship with his daughter. It does there are also tactical advantages to it. Especially seeing as how her ex-boyfriend, Havoc, has taken up with Emma Frost, who is pretty much the top of the list of Magneto's hit list. Anyway, so, and he feels that if there's anybody who can flip Alex, it would be Lorna. Anyways, now in San Francisco, the X-Men are facing various repowered mutants and mutants in general. There are a degree of mind control to attack them. Wildside, formerly of the Mutant Liberation Front, is making Polaris do some really messed up shit. Her father, being you're no daughter of mine. Havoc blaming her for turning him into a villain. The malice possessed version of Polaris say this is the real you. Anyway, however, once she knocks out Wildside, hallucinations go bye-bye. As the rest of the entire team is dealing with their own hallucinations. Oh, and Dragonus is there too. Cut to Deep Space, where Venom and four of the time displaced original 5 X-Men manage to get the ship going. Venom gives young Cyclops some advice. Basically, the next, get mad. The next time he sees one of the people that took Jean from him, pay him back tenfold, tear him apart. In Madripoor, got the X-Men base. Magneto is fighting Miss Sinister's Marauders as well as the manifested mutants. It does not go. He ends up having to kill them, however, sadly. And suffice to say, he's not happy in the slightest. He escapes the Marauders, however, activates his time platform. So he's gone somewhere in time. Anyways, the backup team led by Polaris manages to take down the mutants in San Francisco. Toad basically said, "Did you think I'd really help you if I knew what was going on?" But Bloodstorm manages to get some information out of teleporter that was utilized. Meanwhile, back with our villains, Emma's still not happy about the idea of that Miss Sinister controls the Mother Vine mutants, and she explains that in her studies of the mutants from the other world, turns out that mutants in the Ultimate Universe were created by man. Wolverine, genetic experiments on, or early experiments on a Canadian soldier named James Howlett created A, the mutant race, and B, the super soldier serum. It's all about Wolverine. Anyway, there were a few things. She worked with that, and basically, kind of, when the time comes, she'll release the Mother Vine mutants from her control. And hell, if Emma even wants, she can take credit for convincing Miss Sinister. We'll all be heroes on our own, and then, but yeah. Suffice to say, Emma does not like Miss Sinister. Probably the few times one of the few times I've actually agreed with Emma in during this arc. Huh. Who'd have thunk it, right? And then the X-Men show up, having a combination of Sentinels and Hellfire Guards, who makes for a amusing thing of the Sentinels saying, "I apprehend them. Mutant life must be preserved." And Hellfire Guards, he wants to say, "Kill them." Then Havoc shows up. Him and Polaris talk. And she tries to get through to the pre-Axis Havoc. And he explained, after insisting that she and the rest be taken away, he tells her that she's wrong about him. The other Alex, the one you think you knew, he was the lie. This is the only me that's left. Don't worry, I'll prove it to you. Which is where the story ends. And like last week's X-Men Gold, we have a single-page backup story set 20 years in the future. This time around, we're focusing more on the time displaced original 5. Jean is loading kids into loading students into into a transport. One thing of note is that all the students that we're seeing have, like Bishop, an M on their face. Cyclops has gone a bit cynical. We see that, just like the other beast, time displaced beast mucked around with genetics and has another bestial appearance now. Only he's also got horns and white fur. We don't see Iceman, but he manages to take out one Sentinel. One of the other bunches of Sentinels manages to take out Hank. And Scott says we have to stop this. That's where it ends. Should be interesting to see what these stories are leading up to. Anyways, the final book for the week. Well, we also got You Are Deadpool #2, but we'll worry about that once all 5 issues are out, and that'll be on a separate video. Finally, though, we have Exile #3, which introduces the Marvel Puzzle Quest Peggy Carter Captain America into the Marvel Universe. So the last issue, the Watchers zapped the Tala, tried to kill Nick Fury, and Blink got in the way, and the energy beam hit the Talus and fractured the crystal, and everyone, yeah. Nick Fury, now known as the Unseen, explains he can't see those Watchers anymore, but he can see the Talus and Blink's team. Anyway, so they wake up. Rather nice looking place. Where they have to deal with talking gun-toting dinosaurs. They're not all gun-toting. So talking weapons-toting dinosaurs. They fight them off for a bit. Iron Lad kind of says, get this whole speech of they didn't evolve this way. That someone did this to them, and the Time Eater shows up, eats that timeline, and they bounce on out again. This time into the hippiest hippie world ever. Young Nick Fury pops out and is like, "Hey, you're here. You're still there, or you will be. Time travel stuff makes my head hurt." Yeah. It turns out that this is an Earth where Atlantis is a major thing. Is a major deal on the surface. And Namor, hippie King Namor, I swear, man. Like, it's too much. I don't know. And okay, this is why this issue actually does have me pissed off. Morph from the first Exile scene with Blink shows up, but sadly their reunion is short-lived, and yeah, the Time Eater eats hippie Atlantis, and they end up in World War II and get mistaken for being some special ops troops. Guessing Nick Fury may have had a little hand in that one. And Peggy Carter, they're going to help Captain America and Becky. Becky also makes it known that she's quite fond of doctoring. Khan makes point of Khan does one of the smartest things. Talos doesn't give him any cues, and kind of says, "Hey, we were told we would be rebriefed on the mission when we got here." It turns out the Red Skull's got an atomic bomb. He's heading to New York with it. So they pile onto a plane and then jump out onto the Red Skull's flying fortress of Doom. And they quickly infiltrate it, beat the henchmen, stop the Red Skull from dropping the bomb. And leave a present. bundle of dynamite. And they blink away the bomb. The ship blows up. Turns out they've saved the day. And so, partying and Baby Wolverine does not know what the word kill means. Celebrating, dancing, but there's some radiation coming from the bomb, something casing, and it explodes. And the last thing we see is Cap's shield. To be continued? Spoiler alert, it will be. They're going to be on Earth with a pirate Ben Grimm in the next issue. Really? Pirate Ben Grimm. How cool is that? I need that in my life. Okay, so that's it for this week. I think probably my Deadpool number 3 was probably my favorite book of the week, followed by Domino. I really like the direction. I need to track down the rest of Jerry Duggan's run on Deadpool just to see what all happened, because for reading the end of it, I was really impressed. Anyway, that's all I got for tonight. I'm going to hopefully. Hey, Bobby, how you doing, man? Hope you enjoy the rest of the video, dude. Tomorrow we are going to have the premiere of the. Well, what does it mean? Oh, probably just that they're I would say it probably means that they're expanding the focus of they're going to expand the focus on things, on everything. The first 3 phases, after all, very obviously focused on the Avengers. So now we're going to be focusing, the Guardians will have more of a focus, obviously. Well, they always already had their thing. But might see some of the champions. Probably just a lot more solo characters as well. I haven't really stopped and think about what's to come after Phase 3. I haven't really thought past Avengers 4, really. But I'm pretty sure we're going to be saying goodbye to Captain America and Thor. But give me some. I'll take some time to actually really think about what's to come. Like, I haven't thought past Infinity War 2. I would love to see Young Avengers. That would be really cool. And considering the fact that with the Marvel or the Disney Fox deal, Marvel Studios will have access to Kang, so Iron Lad is totally doable. I'd love to see that. AVX would be sweet, but that's the kind of thing I want to see built up to. I actually, if you check out the video I did about my thoughts on what's going to come for the Marvel properties that Fox has, with what I lined out, that could actually work pretty well, I think, down the line for Avengers versus X-Men. Even if it's not dead on with it, but basically it's like a reason to have a movie where the X-Men and the Avengers duke it out, because I like watching that shit too, man. Wow, this is the first one someone's actually been in here for more than a minute. Anyway, tomorrow the trailer for Well, I think what's going to happen with the New Mutants is that really, I'll do more of them. Good to know. I'll probably start doing some more live streams about comics. I usually do a lot of recorded video and then upload it stuff. Good to know. Good to know. Might end up having to go to Twitch now at some point in the near future. Thanks for the heads up about that. Yeah, I did pick up Domino number 2. I did. Yeah, it's I mean, it's similar enough to the older costs. Some of the older costumes, I'm down with it. Again, it's basically a soldier type costume. She's got no justice. I'm not reading any. I'm not regularly picking up any DC stuff at the moment. It's mainly just there's so much to get caught up on there that I'm kind of just waiting until the next time DC hits the reset button. Then I'll be doing DC books as well as Marvel. Let's see. But yeah, tomorrow, Bobby, this is entirely comic book related, but tomorrow I'm going to be doing hopefully a live stream reaction to the Predator, the trailer for the Predator. Reformed Darkseid. What the hell? Okay, now my curiosity is too piqued to not look into this shit. Wow. Okay. I mean, okay, so Darkseid and Thanos are kind of on par. Yes, yeah. I've seen in the closest I've ever seen to a reformed Thanos was basically kind of a bored Thanos, and he ended up siding with Annihilus. But yeah, reformed Darkseid. That should be interesting. Huh. I thought that I'd seen it all when Lex and Captain Cold joined the league, but Darkseid? Only Magneto, old ancient Vulcan proverb, only Magneto could join the X-Men, right? And Emma. Wow. Huh. I think I just wow. Wow. That's insane. I mean, for the most part, good insane. Like I said, I'm gonna wait till they basically the next time they hit they'll truly hit the reset button. That's good. Justice League Dark was a great idea to begin with, and they should never have canceled it. But like I said, the next time they hit, I'm talking the next time they do a Crisis Flashpoint type event, that's when we get back into DC, because that's probably the best point to do so. I'll probably keep on just kind of keeping an eye on things. I'm like, okay, what is going on? Deadpool 2, I'm probably gonna go see Friday morning, early afternoon, and we'll probably do a video that probably let it digest for the rest of the day and do my review the next morning after I get back home from work. Yeah, I'll be seeing Deadpool 2 as soon as I possibly can. Let me see. Let's see what it says for release date on Deadpool 2. Let's see. Yes, that's the one. May 18th. So that's yeah. So it'll be next week. Yeah, I'm liking Exiles. Well, I've always been a fan of Exiles. Exiles is it's a book that I will always give a chance to, and I always hope that it ends up being it lasts, because those first like 70 some odd issues were just amazing, so good, and I mean hell yeah. Once I saw that in Marvel Previews, once I saw a new Exile series starting up in Marvel Previews a few months ago, I was like, yeah, okay, I'm in. I started doing these a month ago. It seemed like a good point, so to start doing them. But yeah, Exile. Well, like I said, I love Exiles. I always have. I think it's partially just because I love the Age of Apocalypse version of Blink, and I loved how for a while that they brought her in. They brought her into the regular Marvel universe and had her running with the X-Men and New Mutants and whatnot. The time you're killing more for that, oh, that hurt. That really hurt. But yeah, that's concerning X-Men or concerning Deadpool. I'll probably see that next Friday morning or early afternoon. I don't know about that. We might see something, a beginning thereof. I'm really. I think that, like I said in my last video, I think that with the Disney buyout, I think that they're going to hold off on X-Force long enough to establish the X-Men properly in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and then that would also introduce Wolverine. That way you can have Wolverine with on X-Force. Also, I think that's going to lead to some great jokes with Deadpool basically saying, "Funny, you don't look like Hugh Jackman." Or, making various jokes about Hugh Jackman and him not being Wolverine anymore. And to be perfectly honest, we've already got some, when it comes to legit X-Force. I mean, lineup for the movie, we've got Shatterstar, Domino, Bedlam, who was part of Pete Wisdom's lineup. Deadpool himself has been a member of X-Force. Colossus was a member of one iteration. Who else? Well, Teenage Gigantic Warhead hadn't been a member of anything because, yeah. It looks like Surge, but I think CBR had an article saying it's not Surge. I can't remember who they said it was. But yeah, my first thought was, oh, cool, Surge, yeah. I mean, Surge is a great character. Yeah, I guess I wish I could remember who the article said it was, but I can't for the life of me remember it. When it's an obscure X character that I can't remember, that's really obscure. That's like, God, that's like Detroit Era League obscure. But yeah. I like the Messiah story trilogy. I think each one has its perks, basically. I think Second Coming was probably the best part of that, between Messiah Complex, Messiah War, and Second Coming. The Necrosha was pretty decent too, but I think I like the Necrosha more for just it finally tied up story threads we've been seeing since decimation. And I was just glad to have that wrapped up. It's like, okay, fine. Celine's shit is done. We don't have to worry about that anymore. But yeah, it's been canceled. So, I mean, much like with Venom, I kind of don't want it to happen. And like from what I heard, from what I understand, it's been canceled anyway. So we don't have to worry about it. Look, I want Venom to be good. Hell, if this actually hasn't or has been uncanceled, I hope it's good. But at the same time, I would much prefer Marvel movies featuring Marvel characters be handled primarily by Marvel Studios because they know what the hell they're doing. I've said this a billion times already about Venom. Venom is, it's a cash in. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be good. I don't think it's going to be good, but I want it to be good, but I don't think it's going to be good. I've got this. I'm honestly thinking the same thing with Solo. I want it to be good, but I don't think it's going to be good. I hope it is. I really do. I want to be wrong. Venom himself looks good. I've heard various things, that I've heard, like at least Tom Holland will show up, but I don't know. I really just don't know. You're doing a Spider-Man universe without Spider-Man. It's just like, no, just don't stop, just stop. But concerning Venom, it's a cash in on Homecoming and Deadpool without understanding what made those two successful. So it's gonna be a trash fire, probably. I hope it's not. I hope it's not a flaming train wreck of garbage. I really hope it's not. And Silver Sable and Black Cat, that was, initially kind of okay, well, we're gonna. No, I didn't read Planet of the Symbiotes. I liked Venom, but he's just, I don't know. He's a character that I prefer as, seeing occasionally. I don't like having massive story arcs involving it that star him. I've never followed a Venom solo book. I was okay with the idea of Venom on the Agent Venom being on the Guardians. Hell, I was okay with Mac Venom as one of the Thunderbolts and the Dark Avengers, but I prefer him, like I said, either as part of a team or a character that shows it, or part of the cast of a story, a guest star. Yeah, I heard good things about Agent Venom. One thing to keep in mind is I'm just getting back into comics after a multi-year absence. I think before I got back in November, and I think about the time I stopped buying comics the last time. It's been a few years. I think I got the first couple of issues of Ellis's run on Moon Knight, and then couldn't afford comics. When Rebirth started, I was out. I'd been out for a while. I caught the first couple issues, and personally, when it comes to Moon Knight and Ellis, I'm biased because I fucking love Ellis. I gotta pick up the rest of that run. I'm really digging the current run. It's definitely an interesting read. But I've liked every run of Moon Knight I've read so far since the starting with Charlie Houston stuff. Each writer brings their own thing to it, and I mean, Bendis' run was fun. I thought it was neat to see. It was cool to see a character, a somewhat major character, leave New York And I like kind of the whole, yeah, we're going to give you three more voices in your head: Cap, Wolverine, and Spider-Man. And yeah, um, as I understand it, what we've got in the way of Netflix and characters who've been introduced so far are all we're going to get on Netflix. However, with Disney's streaming service coming up, we might see something like that, or maybe we'll see a Hulu series or something. But yeah, I would love this some kind of live action aimed more at adults than children Moon Knight series. Um, hell, I would have loved to have seen. Um, I'm actually not sure. I know about Krypton, but aside from that, I don't know. I haven't heard any about any of the others. I guess there's also Metropolis. That's coming out too. Um, I don't know. With doing background, going it back to before Titans, Swamp Thing, Harley Quinn, and well, Titans. I don't know. Again, I want it to be good, but what I'm seeing, I'm not entirely digging. Um, one, first and foremost, Beast Boy is green, not just his hair. He is green. Raven looks all right. I'm willing to withhold judgment on Starfire because I know everyone has been shitting all over how Starfire looks. I want to wait to see what finished product looks like before I say anything. A Swamp Thing show. Okay, that's kind of neat. Funny thing, there was actually a show on USA, Swamp Thing show on USA about 20, 30 years ago. It was kind of spun off of the two Swamp Thing movies. Harley Quinn show. I don't know. I mean, I don't mind the idea of a Harley Quinn movie or a largely Harley centric movie. But yeah, oh yeah, those old Swamp Thing movies are fucking great. And I mean, cheesy, terrible effects, but man, that's what makes them cool, you know. God, but yeah, like I said, there was a TV series on USA, like I said, 25, 30 years ago that spun out of those. So, well, I'm reading Avengers, Moon Knight, Old Man Hawkeye. Love it, Old Man Hawkeye. All new Wolverine for the few issues that's got left. I'll be picking up X-23 when that starts up. See, I mentioned Avengers, X-Men Gold, X-Men Red. Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm doing Hunt for Wolverine. The one shot was pretty cool. It was a nice way of setting up the four minis. I like Adamantium Agenda a lot. I liked Weapon Lost, but I think that I liked Adamantium Agenda just a little bit more. But that's also because I really like Wolverine as an Avenger, and they really got a good hook. Yeah, I've seen that one. That was good. But yeah, like I said, Adamantium Agenda's got a good hook because it's got two different story arcs. You've got an arc set years ago during I would say during the heroic age era, and then you've got now. So that should make for an interesting couple of stories. And according to previews, we're going to have Miss Sinister involved. Or no, not Miss Sinister, Mr. Sinister. Lots of Mr. Sinisters. Anyway. Bobby, it was cool talking to you. Feel free to subscribe to the channel. I do this, well, I mean, aside from Dark Things, they've been, I don't know, they've mentioned casting for, like, the Shi'ar, but I don't recall seeing anything about any like Hellfire Club or anything like that. Let me see. Oh, I personally don't think. Well, okay. I think it's like a 50% chance that we won't see that movie at all. Okay. We're getting a Genosian. Yeah, nothing about. Yeah, nothing about. It looks like we're going to be seeing Genosha in the movie, so that's kind of neat. It would be. It would. Man, I would love to see Sinister. We got that little hint of him at the end of Apocalypse, and I mean, Sinister's one of her villains. I've been streaming for about an hour and 20. I'm actually at the point of I'm going. When you popped in, I was at that point of getting ready to sign off. I do this every Wednesday night though. Usually about right here. It's just after 11. And I usually start around 9:30. I think it's been tonight was about 9:45. Last week it was closer to 10. But yeah, like I said, I do this every week on Wednesday night. And I've also started doing this in conjunction with eating my dinner too, because food. No Instagram as of yet. Should probably set that up though. I've got Facebook, Twitter, Patreon. That's all I'm on right now. I thought about getting an Insta set up for this. Probably will actually. Basically just focus it on this. I actually didn't. I actually skipped through comic book day this year. I work overnights, and no, I didn't pick up any of the free stuff from last week. Like I said, I work overnights, and by the time the shop opened up, I was like, I'm not sure. I know it's going to be a mess, and there's a local guy that that looks somewhat like young Michael J. Fox, and he was here with a DeLorean, taking taking pictures in the DeLorean with him with his hoverboard, and it just seemed like it was going to be more of a mess than I wanted to deal with. I think next year I'm going to try to hit up Free Comic Book Day. Part of it also is I figured that all this year's new free stuff would still be readily available because most of it has been in the past. But excuse me. But yeah, listen, I skip it. Just I skip it. Just wasn't. Yeah, just wasn't feeling it for last week. Probably the first time in years I've skipped it, honestly. A little. It's not so much what, so much as who, That's more of a surprise was the who. I figured And sadly, a lot of the deaths were not as chance taking as Marvel wants to look like. And absolutely. Carol was going to show up somehow. I really dug. It made me laugh that the last thing Nick Fury says, he starts to say "motherfucker," and then he dissipates. It's like that makes it even worse, I think. But no, I was expecting I expected Cap to die, or something like that. Hell, I thought War Machine was going to bite it. Much like he did in Civil War II. I was surprised he survived. But yeah, it's 4 is going to be interesting, that's for sure. I think we're going to see Cap die, and Thor is going to leave Earth to lead his people, or what's left of his people. I think Tony will still be around. Obviously, T'Challa will return, but what I think is going to happen with the end of Avengers 4 is no, I don't think that's going to be what comes next. I think that's going to be, or what happens in 4. I think what's going to happen there is going to be at the end, Nebula gets the gauntlet off of Thanos, puts it on, runs things back to before Thanos knew where the stone was, and that way everyone's still alive. But she's screwed because she's being tortured by Thanos. Kind of, yeah. It's the kind of thing where there's enough difference that it'll work out. But it's the kind of thing. It's also one of those where that's pretty much your only. I mean, the other option would be to whoever someone gets it and snaps their fingers to for everyone that wasn't, or to bring back everyone who was who dissipated. That would be the other thought, but I think either way it's going to be Nebula who does it. And if it happens that way, Cap will have died, and since he didn't dissipate from the finger snap, he won't be brought back. So I think that might be more of the case of what happens. And so, oh, hey, how's it going, man? Right now we're just talking comics, mainly talking about Infinity War. How you doing? Also, just the stream runs every Wednesday night, usually from about 9:30 till whenever. Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna pick up X-Men Red. I picked up all of the ongoing X-Men books. I'm doing all right, man. Yeah, we were just talking about more what might happen in Avengers 4. I'm thinking it's either going to be very similar to what happened in the comics, or at least have kind of reference what happened in the comics. Oh. most active my chat's ever been. This is probably the most active this chat's ever been. This is nuts. Deadly Class or Deadly? Okay, that's not what I'm aware of. Okay. Huh, that's cool. Yeah. Like I said earlier, man, I do this every week. I think there will probably be a point near the end of August where it's going to be on a Wednesday. I'll do it on a Thursday night. If that's the case, I will make sure everyone knows. Well, actually, the Thursday I'll probably do it Thursday during the day, and I'll make sure to let everyone know. Or I'll do it earlier or I'll be doing it in the afternoon on Wednesday. Depends. Okay, let's check that out. Okay, all right. Ooh, written by Remender. Why didn't you say so? Well, okay, that's cool. I'll have to check that out. Man. Okay. All right. I'll have to check that out. I always like always willing to give a chance to other books. I don't read Southern Bad. Right now, all I'm reading right now is really just Marvel stuff. Technically, I'm reading Nowhere Men, but who knows when the next issue that's going to come out. Hell, I can't even remember where my first copies of the first 6 issues are. Southern Bastards or Nowhere Men. Yeah, Nowhere Men's been delayed as fuck. Southern Bastards does ring a bell, however. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, Scott Pilgrim counts as a comic book. It is a comic book. It's totally a comic book. It's not it's different from it's what's generally referred to as an indie comic, and it's more about there are fantastical elements to it, but it's done. And I like the movie. I actually really like the movie. I think Michael Cera was perfect in that role. It was a fun movie, and I really dug it. It felt like watching a live action comic book. I don't know if that makes any sense. But yeah, that was it's been a while since last time I watched the movie, but I did watch it. I enjoyed it quite immensely. I'll keep a wiki up. Okay. As I understand, it did all right, but yeah, it's the kind of it didn't do mind-blowingly good. It's not it didn't make Avengers money. Ooh, good to know. Well, it depends what your interests are. I mean, with the glut of comic book movies anymore, I would honestly just say find if you've enjoyed superhero movies or comic book based movies in general, track down the comics. Yeah, so that's a good one actually, from what I understand. But Scott Pilgrim, Red, the about the retired government operatives that one with Bruce Willis in it. That was based on a comic book written by Warren Ellis, actually. Let's see. 30 Days of Night was based on a comic book. Also, there are comics based on there are comics that are based on movies and film franchises. Like there are, I don't know if there's still a Predator one, but there's at least, I'm pretty sure that Dark Horse is still publishing Aliens comics. Yeah, it is. Oh yeah. Walking Dead is based on a comic book. It's still running. I figured that I honestly think excuse me. I think the TV show is going to end before the comic book does because, damn. Eventually, I think the interest in the show will wane. Eventually, we'll see what happens. Or hell, they may just slowly phase in a new cast. Which would keep the show interesting. I think. Let's see. The first issue of Tank Girl was reissued this week, also. For the first trade of Tank Girl, I think. That's a fun comic. I would also recommend. I would also suggest if you're into darker stuff. I did like the Young Justice cartoon. I did. That's really true. With there being two of us now, or with there being three of us, we're having quite the conversation. Let's see. Oh yeah, if you like darker stuff, okay, dude. But this is definitely an interesting stream, that's for sure. I'm gonna do some quick reading up on. Okay. Huh. Okay. Interesting. Oh, Bobby, I'm definitely gonna be checking out. Dark John the Homicidal Maniac. Just yeah, but me, I got 5 or 6. I got to replace one because over the years, the one of the ends just came tumbling down, and I'm actually going to have to replace some of my books in general, just because too many years sitting at my parents' house without any love. And yeah, I'm actually working on you. I've been picking up some of the character, artwork long boxes of late. That kind of keep. Hey, you're good, man. Okay, yeah. Also, oh, all right. But one of the reasons I'm getting the art boxes is for organizational purposes. Kind of like I've got the first one I picked up was the X-Men #1 cover by Jim Lee, and I'll put my X-Men books in there, and I get the feeling I'm probably going to end up buying 3 or 4 more of them just for my X-Men comics. From like, I've got stuff that dates back to the '90s. Like I've got all 6 parts of Fatal Attractions. I've got Executioner's Song. Yeah, I've got a ton of comics. I mean, when I got into comics, it was 26 years ago, and we didn't have digital comics. I was getting used to the hard copy, and I just like having a hard copy in general. It's a bit of a liability in some cases, but I like it. Nice. X-Force #1 was one of the first comics I picked up back in the day, and I opened it immediately because it was still sealed, and I wanted to read it. It's got the Deadpool. I got the Deadpool card from it though, so that's kind of neat. I don't think it's in the best condition anymore, but yeah, that Deadpool card was pretty neat. Favorite Marvel arcs. Well, I really liked. I liked Messiah Complex. Well, the Messiah trilogy, I should say, but especially Second Coming. Um, Honestly, I'd probably say my favorite arc was probably. Like, keep in mind, in the '90s, I was mostly just reading the X-Men. So, but Executioner's Song. That one. Hickman's good, like seriously good. But yeah, probably my favorite Marvel arc to date is Executioner's Song. Um, just love the way instead of having multiple books, each one telling its own story, but they're still connected. You had a handful of story arcs that were just running through the 4 books. Oh yeah, there was a 12-issue crossover between Uncanny X-Men, X-Force, X-Factor, and X-Men from back in the '90s. Art-wise, you've got Brandon Pearson, Greg Capullo, Andy Kubert, and Jay Lee. And I actually got to meet Jay Lee a few months ago at Planet Comic Con. He is the coolest dude. No. Child's Play is oh man, Child's Play arc. It's close. Child's Play was a crossover between X-Force and New Warriors. A group called the Upstarts basically went after the surviving members of the Hellions and the New Mutants. And so that brought them into conflict with both teams, as Firestar was a former Hellion, and, well, X-Force used to be the New Mutants. So, but, yeah, it's a pretty decent 4-issue story. It kind of served as a lead-in partially to Generation X. As you had the actual introduction of Paige Guthrie, and she popped up a few times before when we visited the Guthrie farm, but we actually got to see her. Okay, yeah, she's got powers, but yeah, I'm actually not even sure if Child's Play was available in a trade or not. Let's see. Oh, okie dokie. Okay. All right. So we got the Child's Play arc. Well, that sucks. It's actually not, from the looks of it, it's not even available as a trade. That sucks. I did get Jay Lee's autograph. I got it on he had some prints for sale. Buy the print and he would sign it. I bought the Wolverine Goes to Hell cover he did. Or Wolverine crouched on a rock, claws out, he's got like a couple swords sticking in him. I also got the hardcover copy of Dark Tower Gunslinger Born, signed by him. I almost bought one of the X-Force issues from Executioner Song and had him sign it too. I was like, no. We'll just go with I'm planning on getting the Wolverine print framed and putting it up on the wall when I get my. I'll be moving where I shoot, where I do my videos from, to another part of my place soon, and so when I get that all set up, hopefully, amongst other things, will be that on the wall. So, but yeah, he was really cool. I'm sold on going there. I don't have any framed. I've got some variants that I might put on a wall. Like I might find some means of getting them put up on a wall. Like I've got I want to say it's Fear Itself number 7. Had a variant covered by Larry Stroman, kind of showing the evolution of Havoc over the years. So that was kind of cool. I've got. I'm trying to think about. I've been trying to find a way to do something safe with that. Yeah, Fear Itself was kind of the tie-ins with a lot. God, there were so many tie-ins. What I kind of like about those that really it's the kind of it's as long as you read the core story, like the core series, you're good. That's kind of everything you need right there. The tie-ins are just fluff. Well, no, okay, I take that back. No, because Thunderbolts and Uncanny X-Men, those two were actually very important to the plot. After all, Juggernaut. Oh man. I read more. In the last Marvel Zombies book I read was Armored Darkness versus Marvel Zombies. Ash, the Necronomicon versus the Marvel Zombies, and it's got a really awesome next wave reference, plus somewhat of an origin as to the zombie virus, sort of. I actually haven't read Secret Wars. Well, the recent one. It was in that period when I wasn't in the comics, just done the money. But favorite artist? Well, top of the list is Jim Lee. Always loved his work. Let's see. I'm a sucker for most of the old Wildstorm artists in general. But let's see, Jim Lee, Frank Miller, Greg Capullo. Jay Lee probably makes my top 10. That's definite. I said the only ranking spot I've got is Jim Lee in the top spot, and then there's like it's a whole bunch of other artists that I really enjoy. Excuse me. Yeah, he's good. J.D. Jones is pretty good too. Adam Kubert, love Adam Kubert. Yeah, right. When I remember Batwoman started up in the New 52, and I was just like, that's some good looking stuff right there. Let's see, who else do I love? My favorite, my favorite New 52 comic was probably Grifter. Mainly because I'm a longtime fan of the character Grifter. Yeah, they changed him up for the New 52, but it was still Cole. I mean, it put a smile on my face seeing Cole Cash running around in the DC universe, God, I'd love to see I'd love to see DC take the DCU and the Wildstorm universe and like the classic Wildstorm universe, kind of meld them, meld them together. I need to pick up like the latter half of it, but I love that book. When they announced the list of all the titles, I was like, okay, I'm totally buying Grifter. I might not buy anything else from it, but I'm totally buying Grifter. Yeah. I might end up picking up. It's not Grifter, but I might end up picking up Cray. Way back in the day. I loved the old Wildcat stuff. I had to drop everything comic wise just as Fire from Heaven was starting though. So but yeah, I don't have all of those first like 25 or so issues, but I got most of them. I've got 1 through 4. I know I'm missing the Killer Instinct crossover issues. I don't think I've got all the Claremont issues, but I've got a good portion of it. I remember watching the cartoon, the one season of the cartoon, where it's like, yeah, okay, maybe this is not the best idea to make a cartoon out of. When it came to Wildstorm books back in the day, I used to read Wildcat, Stormwatch, Grifter's first solo book, Deathblow, Gen 13, Backlash. Yeah, I really read all of it. I read a ton of image stuff in general from back then. Right. Not gonna lie, I was 12 years old when that book started up. Oh yeah, Reasons Indeed. But the character, even with the fact that it was mostly eye candy, I still dug the characters. Man, John Lynch was made for a great mentor type. In some ways, kind of Secret Warriors kind of gave me a similar vibe, because you had the old hardened intelligence operative, and then you got the younger superheroes. Like, this is almost like reading Gen 13. But admittedly, Secret Warriors kind of did it better. But yep. Yeah, once well, Bobby, it's it, but I'm probably gonna get off of here for now. Yeah, I am actually. I am. I think, however, that I'm gonna get off of here and go to bed. I've been up since last night, so it was great having you in the chat. I hope that see you here more often. And everyone else watching this after the fact, of course, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Links to Facebook, Twitter, and Patreon are down below. To answer your question, Bobby, I usually stream the weekly live stream I usually do Wednesday nights. I try to start around 9:30. 9 or 9:30, no later than 10 o'clock. So, anyways, hopefully, like I said, see you here next time, Bobby. Anyways, everyone, Bobby, the later viewers, live long and rock hard.